Yo, what's up guys, my name's Hakiii, and in this video we're gonna go over the must-have things every solo player should own in GTA Online. If you go on to find this helpful, leave a like, subscribe if you're new for more awesome videos like these that you don't want to miss. Anyway, let's get into it. The first must-have is kind of like a 2-in-1, I would say. They go hand in hand with each other, so we're gonna be going inside of the garment factory, which is one must. This is the new home of the Terabyte, and you can only get specific Bureau Tech upgrades inside of the garment factory on the Terabyte, and the Terabyte in general has just become one of the best vehicles to own in the game. There's so many different options and you can do so much with this one vehicle, with this one truck. A bunch of useful upgrades, beginning with the collectible scanner, which is going to mark any collectible you haven't collected yet that's relatively close to you, so you can actually track all of the collectibles inside of the interaction menu. Go into all collectibles, and then here's all the progress for all the different collectibles you own or don't own yet. It's basically going to make current collectibles and future collectibles way easier to find with this option. Silent running is basically unlimited off the radar, so let's actually go outside with this thing so I could show you. So pressing down on the left stick is going to activate the silent running, which is pretty much going to get you an unlimited off the radar as long as you're sitting still with the Terabyte and not actually moving. So the minimap icon is going to be appearing as normal, but if I stop the vehicle, as you can see, my minimap icon is starting to flash, and that's how you know you're completely off the radar. By the way, if you want to use the collectible scanner outside, you have to press down on the right stick. The missile lock-on jammer is exactly like the Monitech that we can equip, so no weaponized vehicle can lock onto you with homing missiles. Very useful upgrade right there. And the final one is the master control terminal. It's the same screen that we have inside of the arcade basement, where you can access all the different businesses from one screen. Inside of the Terabyte, if you go up to the touch screen and press X or square on PlayStation, you can actually access all of the different businesses that you own. So as an example, I'm just going to be accessing the Nightclub real quick, and let me register as a CEO. So instead of going all the way to this business, you can access everything from this one truck. Of course, you have the regular Terabyte missions that you can always do. That's the main money-making method with the Terabyte. So much you could do inside of the Terabyte. Of course, it is also the home of the Oppressor Mark II, so you can upgrade the Mark II Oppressor in here. Also, some pretty cool customization you can do to it inside of the Warstock website. Haven't really messed around with this too much, but feel free to. Another absolute must these days is to have a business that consists of a weapon workshop. So you can get this in the garment factory, in the arena workshop, inside of the bunker. So there's several different businesses you can have this in, but make sure you have at least one with this workshop. It is an absolute must. Mark II weapons are just that much better than the regular versions of theirs, so I highly recommend getting, let's say, the heavy sniper, one of the coolest looking weapons in the entire game. And personally, I went with the explosive rounds on it, so it does a lot more damage than usual. There's a lot of customization to these weapons as well, which is awesome. Another must-have weapon is the Combat MG Mark II. And finally, I'd recommend the Pump Shotgun Mark II, and I also went with the explosive rounds on this one. All of these options do have a lot of damage to them, but explosive I feel like is the best. That's just my personal preference. Another absolute must-have is to have a weaponized vehicle, and I have a few different options in this video for a weaponized vehicle. The first one is the Oppressor Mark II, which used to be much cheaper. Now it costs like $8 million, which is crazy, but it's just such a convenient vehicle. You can lock onto people with the homing missiles, as you can see, but I'm not a griefer. I'm just gonna let them be. It's super easy to use, super easy to navigate, and doing missions, this is probably my go-to vehicle to this day. Only for people that are willing to save up a lot of money though, because this takes a while to get. Another vehicle would be the Toreador, which is significantly cheaper. It's only a few $1,000,000. It's not a vehicle that can fly, but there's a lot of pros to it, so let me take it out real quick. Here it is, the Toreador. So it's a super sick vehicle that could actually go underwater. So if you hold right on the D-pad, it basically completely turns into a submarine when you go in the water. So this vehicle cannot drown whatsoever. It has a crazy rocket boost, and yeah, we got two Toreadors right there. Hey, how's it going, Toreador brother? So basically, it's really fun to use the rocket boost of this thing, which recharges really fast as well. It's actually such a fun vehicle to use. Out of all rocket boosted vehicles, this one recharges by far the fastest. And if you manage to find any sort of ramp, you can absolutely go flying with this thing. It's a lot of fun, and so it's got a machine gun to it. It's got homing missiles. It's got all the weapons you need. I'm pretty sure it's got unlimited missiles as well, which is also a big plus. And in terms of armor, it takes a few missiles to blow it up, which is not bad. Another weaponized vehicle I recommend is the Titan 250D, basically the AC-130. It's got the most fun weapons you can use in this game, and you can actually use it completely solo, even though it's got 3 weapons, and as a solo player, you can only use one out of the 3 weapons, which kind of sucks. If you want to be able to use all 3 weapons, you actually have to go with a pilot. So someone would be flying the plane, and then you would be basically the passenger using all 3 weapons. We can actually use the 40mm cannon, but I'm gonna get a bit closer just because I'm way too high up right now. It's got some decent range. The range is not unlimited, but it's pretty good still, I would say. I really like that it's pretty much just an autopilot as soon as you go in the cannon. There's a car right there. Let's blow that up. Another car. Let's blow that up. Another car. Let's blow that up. Easy. We just blew up so many cars in a row right there, and then we have to wait for the reload after a little bit. Also, the magazine sizes are different amongst all of the different weapons inside of here. Anyway, those are the weaponized vehicles. Let's move on to the next ones. Another must these days is owning an HSW vehicle. So these are basically vehicles with enhanced performance upgrades that you can get inside of the LS car meet, and they're only available on the current gen version of GTA Online on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. I did make a video on the best HSW upgradable cars if you want to go check that out later. But 2 options for an HSW vehicle. One is the Banshee GTS, which holds the fastest top speed amongst all land vehicles in GTA Online. The top speed of it is actually insane, and relative to the crazy top speed, it handles okay, because usually really fast cars just do not have very good handling. This one is a little drifty at times, but for the most part it's not too bad. You can find this thing inside of the Legendary Motorsport, and HSW vehicles are pretty expensive, so expect to pay a few $1,000,000, especially for a top tier one like this one. Another HSW option is going to be the Niobe. These 2 are, in my opinion, the best HSW vehicles out there. Now, the Niobe has a bit better traction and handling, but the top speed is slightly slower than the GTS, but both of them are amazing performing vehicles. It's really up to personal preference just because the differences in performance are so tiny, so both great options. Definitely look into the both of them. The Nightclub is a must-have property that everyone should own for some easy money. When buying a Nightclub for the first time, you're just going to need to do a few setup missions, and then you're all ready to go making passive income with this business. And this place is by far the best way of making passive money. So basically, you play the game, you do whatever else you want in GTA Online, then every one in-game day, which is 48 minutes in real life, you're going to be generating $50,000. So it's super easy money. All you have to worry about is actually keeping your popularity up. The main way of doing that is just reassigning DJs through the computer. So my total earnings ever is $18.5 million with the passive income. You can also make money actively, but I only focus on the passive side of this business. So let's go into resident DJ and then rebook a DJ. It's going to cost 10K, but we're going to be making a lot more money than we spent, and that's going to fill up the popularity bar half a bar at a time. Technically, you can say it's only semi-passive because you actually have to go and fill up the popularity bar every now and then, but it's really easy and totally worth it. You're going to be making a lot of money with it. The agency business is another must-have. It's definitely one of the best money-making properties in the game. At the front desk, you have a fast traveling option to a bunch of different places all around the map. You can request a helicopter right away to get out of here if you want, or a personal vehicle out of your 20-car garage that this place holds, which is a lot. Money making is pretty solid. You do have a passive income safe that does depend on how many security contracts you complete, which are 5 to 10 minute missions, so pretty easy to do, and you make some good money with them. It's going to give you 3 different offers in each session, and you're going to be making anywhere from the mid 30,000s all the way up to 70,000 without any bonuses. The VIP contract is basically a heist that takes about an hour to an hour and a half to complete, and it gives you a set payout of $1 million, so another good money method there. On the top floor, we also have a weapon workshop like we mentioned earlier, and inside of the agency garage, you have a unique option that you cannot get anywhere else. So with the Agents of Sabotage DLC, we actually got a bunch more vehicles that are Monitech upgradables. So if you take certain vehicles into the workshop, you're going to be able to put a special upgrade on them, which is either the remote control unit, meaning you can use a car completely remotely and you're invisible, you cannot actually get killed, or the missile lock-on jammer that we talked about earlier, so you cannot get locked onto by it, or the missile lock-on jammer, which we talked about earlier. It was one of the Bureau Tech options as well. So if you want to feel much safer from weaponized vehicles that can lock onto you, the Monitech vehicles are definitely must-haves. Another must-have vehicle you should be owning is the Sparrow Helicopter, which actually is pretty much an extension to the Kosatka submarine. So you actually have to be owning a submarine first, so this is kind of like a 2-in-1, like with the Garment Factory and the Terabyte. The Sparrow is one of the most convenient vehicles there are in the game. It's super fast. It's actually much faster than a lot of planes, equipped with homing missiles and some countermeasures, so if you get locked onto, you do have the flares as well. The Kosatka stock COD, not much to say about it. I mean, honestly, it's just the home of the Cayo Perico heist, the best heist in the game. With the Cayo Perico heist, you're going to be making anywhere from $800,000 or $900,000 all the way up to the low 2 million. So it really depends what primary target you're getting in each heist. It is randomized. I really hope this video went on to help you out. If it did, leave a like on it, subscribe if you're new for more awesome videos like these. And if you like this video, chances are you're going to like the video on the screen right now. I hope you all enjoy that video, and peace.